Welcome back to Ask Anna. It's our second episode. Today we're going to go over hopefully just a few generalized questions that we get from time to time about insurance policies, how they work, how they generally how they pay out. There's a lot of differences between companies, but in general this covers the majority of companies, how they operate. Code coverage, which is an endorsement that you can get in your policy that covers a few special items. So Anna can take it from here. Okay, what are ACV and RCV policies? How do they differ? And what are some common endorsements and items that people should, maybe some questions people should ask their insurance company when they go to purchase a policy?
So an actual cash value policy, we call it ACV, that is going to pay the actual cash value of whatever the insurance is covering.
It's like after depreciation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like on a roof, if you have a 30-year-old shingle on your roof and the roof was installed 15 years ago, they are going to depreciate the value of that roof in half, basically.
Gotcha.
So
basically, if you have a 30-year shingle, and it's been on your roof for 15 years, the insurance company is going to come out and they're going to do an estimate for what it would cost to replace your roof. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to depreciate it by half because it's 15 years, which is half of 30. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to deduct the deductible.
The deductible.
Correct?
Yes. And the deductible is the amount that you agree to pay out of pocket before your insurance coverage kicks in.
Gotcha.
A lot of people, they think that when the insurance company takes their deductible, that they have already paid their deductible. Like when the insurance company deducts that, they pay it to the insurance company, but they don't realize that the deductible amount is the part that they are supposed to pay.
Contribute their contribution to the claim.
And they pay that to the contractor, not the insurance company.
Yep.
So the insurance company, they deduct that amount from the funds that they give because those funds aren't supposed to come from their insurance proceeds. They're supposed to come out of the homeowner's pocket.
That's a good way of putting it. All right. Okay, so we covered ACV. So explain RCV and how that's different than ACV.
Okay, RCV is replacement cost coverage, and that claim payout will pay for the amount that it costs to replace whatever. We do roofing, so that's what I'm saying a lot is roofing. Right. So if it cost $20,000 to replace your roof, then that's the amount that that your claim is going to pay minus your deductible. Right. So the way that works is your adjuster will come out. If they cover your full roof replacement, they value it at $20,000. They are still going to take depreciation out of that $20,000. Say they take half. So $20,000, they take half. That leaves you, at $10,000. You have $1,000 deductible. So the net ACV amount will be $9,000. Mm-hmm. And so you'll receive a check from the insurance company for $9,000. That is to get you started for your roof replacement. Wow. So you give that $9,000 and then another $1,000, the deductible amount, to your contractor. They come out, they do your roof replacement, then they will send that final invoice for $20,000, what it costs to the replacement. Either they'll send it or the homeowner can send it. And then the insurance company will release that withheld depreciation
The 10 grand.
The other 10
Right.
grand, they'll release it, and it covers the full cost of the replacement.
Yeah.
So ACV policy, the depreciation is not recoverable. You get one check.
Yeah, that's the major difference.
That's the major
between
difference.
The two.
Replacement cost policy, you're going to get 2 checks.
Yeah.
They're going to release that
your
depreciation.
deductible.
You're only out of pocket your deductible.
Yeah.
Yes.
ACV, you're out of pocket your deductible and the depreciated amount.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
A lot of times we see ACV policies on older homes.
Mm-hmm.
That's mainly where we see that come into play.
Yeah.
Is older homes. Sometimes we'll see it
maybe rentals,
like
and
rentals.
like that.
Yeah. I think the main reason why people go with those ACV policies is because it's a cheaper premium. It's a cheaper premium monthly, but you've got to be saving up funds.
Yeah, you got that depreciation.
You've got to be saving up money to put with those insurance proceeds to cover the entire cost.
Right.
If you go with the ACV.
I have another question.
Okay.
This isn't something that we talked about that we were
okay.
going to talk about on the show. Okay, say the insurance comes out and on the scope of work they have 20 grand. It's an RCV policy. So they come out and they withheld the 10,000, like in your scenario, and then the 1,000 for the deductible. They cut them a check for 9 grand. But say their roofing company comes out and they say, we can do it for 15 grand. Just an example. 15 grand. So what happens in that scenario? Is the full 10,000 depreciation recoverable at that point? Or how does that work?
No. So the insurance company is only going to pay what it actually cost to replace the roof. So even though their initial estimate and paperwork to you said 20,000, if your contractor only charges and invoices for 15,000, then they're only going to release 5,000.
Gotcha.
They're not going to release 10,000 and you pay your contractor 5,000 and you keep 5,000.
Right.
That's illegal.
Gotcha.
To do.
It's illegal to falsify that invoice.
Yes.
That's where the
Yeah.
The legalities come in there. Basically insurance fraud.
Yeah. If you submit the invoice for 20 grand,
you only charged 15 grand.
And you were only charged 15. Yeah.
Wrong.
You're
in trouble.
You're not supposed to profit. A
From an
homeowner's
insurance
not supposed
claim.
to profit from an insurance claim.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, well that explains that.
Yep.
That was something that's something we have come up quite often.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to, I think what it is there's used to RCV policies just were unheard of. You didn't have many RCV policies. Everything was ACV. And I think, policyholders kind of got in the way of thinking, they've got that first check and let's get the cheapest price possible because we have this amount of money to work with. And so I think when they see that scope for 20 grand, they're still thinking, okay, I can get this done for less.
Yeah.
And save some of this money. Put this money towards gutters or
Yeah.
a driveway or a pool or
Yep.
whatever. But you can't profit from an insurance claim
Not with a replacement cost policy. Now, if they have an ACV policy and let's say the insurance company gives them $10,000, it's one check. They receive that check from the insurance company.
After depreciation
And their deductible, yes. So they receive that check. If they, can find somebody to do the roof and say, oh, it's only going to cost $8,000, then, they pocket 2 grand. But I say that, also a word of caution, if the insurance company has estimated your roof to cost $10,000, or
after
after
depreciation, and deductible.
Yeah, and that if you find somebody to do it for $8,000,
that's a red flag.
They're probably
right
skipping. They're
flag.
probably skipping corners somewhere.
They're cutting corners.
They're
for
reusing
sure.
something they
reason.
shouldn't be reusing,
Yeah.
or they're using not good quality materials. There's something happening if you're able to find somebody that can do it.
Gotcha.
Cheaper.
Okay. And to go along with that, just real quick to tack on the end, say a customer only gets 10 grand or say 9 grand, they have $10,000 depreciation and $1,000 deductible. So they get 9 grand. If it's the total claim is 20,000, they get 9,000. It's an ACV policy. What if they can't find a roofer to do it for 9,000, and they end up deciding just to put that money in the bank or use it for something else instead?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens to coverage on their roof at that point?
They don't have it.
Yeah.
Because
so they basically forfeit the coverage
they
on the
forfeit the
roof.
coverage. Yeah. If you have an insurance claim and you take the proceeds and you don't have the work done, they're not going to cover
future claims.
They're not going to cover future claims for that item.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, I think that's it for today. Thank y'all for joining us. Meet us back here next time. I think next time we're going to go over spray foam, how it affects roofing products. So that'll be interesting. We are running into this more and more as we see more and more roofs with spray foam up there. So thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
When it comes to your roof, you deserve the best. That's why Mountain Valley Roofing and Exteriors is here to help. We offer free estimates, inspections, and emergency services. We treat your home like it's our own, going above and beyond to protect your property from siding to shrubs. So if you need a new roof due to storm damage, an emergency repair, or need help navigating your insurance claim, contact us today. Mountain Valley Roofing, your trusted roofing specialists.